Good evening, New York. This is WKCR 89.9 FM, WKCR HD. You're listening to Groove Trackers, the show about wax, digging, and where we bring on the best local DJs to find out why they love the records they do. I'm your host, Prezzo. Here in the studio with me, Biker Jake. Say hello, Jake.
Hello, Jake.
And joining us this evening, we've got Neonlichter in the house.
Hello out there in Radioland.
Good evening, Neon. Neon, we're going to get straight into the music. Tell us, what's your first track going to be?
First track is by Serious Intention, Paul Simpson production. This one is You Don't Know, released on Easy Street in 1983. Let me just check if that's correct. 1985, that is.
1985.
Get it right.
All right, well, let's get straight into the music. It's Neonlichter in the mix till the top of the hour.
Disco rock, give it all you got. Rock, rock to the disco rock, give it all you got. Rock, rock to the disco rock, give it all you got. Rock, rock to the disco rock, give it all you got. When we sing with sweet harmony, you are my lady, my fantasy. Sound that keeps thumping, my heart starts to pumping. You are body music. You are body music. so free. Takes me higher where I wanna be. You are body music. I said you are body music. Don't you know you are body music? Well, you are body music. Do the punk rock, don't stop. Rock, rock, do the punk rock, don't stop. Rock, rock, do the punk rock, don't stop. Rock, rock, do the punk rock, don't stop. Everybody's talking about you and I. They're asking questions and trying to find out why. You don't feel the same, you don't seem to care no more. Just tell me one last thing before you close that door. Tell me what's been going on. Won't you tell me, baby? Tell me what's been going on. Tell me what's been going on. Won't you tell me, baby? Tell me what's been going on. Won't you tell me, baby? Is it over? Is it over? Is it over now? I've got to know. Is it over? Is it over now? So tell me, baby. Is it over? Is it over now? I've got to know. Is it over? Is it over now? Tell me what's been going on. Communicate. Communicate. Won't you tell me, baby? You don't seem to care for me, then baby, won't you set me free? I am still in love with you, so tell me what you're gonna do. You don't seem to care for me, then baby, won't you set me free? I am still in love with you, so tell me what you're
feel the heat. Be this way. Didn't be this way. Be this way. Give it to them.
To WKCR FM. We've got Neonlichter in the house, just slinging heat. We're dancing in the studio. Neon, what are we listening to right now?
Cabaret Voltaire, one of Sheffield's finest non-steel related exports. This is, I would say, probably around 85 as well. This was a Dream Ticket. It's a 12-inch I found, God knows where.
Big up Sheffield.
All right, so we're going to get into a segment called Most Valuable Platter. What this is a record that's always in your bag that serves some sort of specific function. What is your favorite platter as DJ weapon? Or, as you brought up when we were speaking before, is the concept of that somehow anathema to you?
I don't want to say it's anathema per se, because I feel like...
Could someone define anathema for me?
I was going to say, look, we're at Columbia. We probably got some people with degrees here who know what we're talking about. I feel like because I don't really have any kind of set genre, or I don't really know what I'm going to play before I step up to the decks, I don't really know if there is that aspect for me. I will say that there are, I guess, a few tracks that I may sort of have in like semi-rotation in the back of my head depending on area. If there's anything that I brought today, it would probably be something along these lines where it's, I don't want to say recognizable because it's not often that I play a lot of tracks with vocals. This is comparatively rare for me. But when they are, it's like it's vaguely familiar, fits in with the general mood of whatever it is I'm trying to express, and then if it grooves, it grooves. But it's one of those things that sometimes the audience will think, I would have never thought to play that in this context.
So for you, the whole is greater than the parts. Did I say that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like for me, if there is any central philosophy, for me, DJing is like an internal monologue. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll know the first record I have, but up until then, the most interesting sets that I've heard from other DJs are people where it's like, we're on their journey, they may not even know where we're going necessarily, but because of that, they're not thinking in the same sort of preconceived ways of what's going to get the party going, or if they are, it's not going to be as formulaic as can it be so often victim to.
Well, on that note, let's continue on Neonlichter's journey to the top of the hour here on WKCR FM.
contrasting ideas pass through our ears. The older we grow, the more knowledge we know. Time marches on, waiting for no one in a world filled with strife, blossoming in new life. Evolution brings change, and change seems so strange when you had it the same for so long. But when change comes along, don't sing the same old song. Just go with the flow. It's the only way to grow. Because evolution brings change, and it shouldn't seem so strange. You can't have it the same for too long. Time marches on, waiting for no one in this world filled with strife, blossoming in new life. Contrasting ideas will be passed through your ears. The older you grow, the more knowledge you get to know. Huh.
You're listening to Groove Trackers on WKCR FM. We're here with Neonlichter in the studio. What are we listening to right now, Neon?
Nancy Martinez, Save Your Love For Me, released 87.
Fantastic. You can find the full track list on the Groove Trackers FM Instagram. Over to you, Jake.
So, Neon, we're about halfway through your set, your monologue. We've journeyed inward with you. So I want to turn the focus outward. We were talking offline a little bit about your starting college radio and also building a party scene and a little bit of a nightlife thing up there in Hamilton. So can you talk a little bit about music and community and what that means to you?
So for me, it felt like I was one of the last generations and / first who understood getting music both off and online, which is something I've only noticed more recently with people who are getting into music and getting into radio via streaming. And even if it's terrestrial radio, they're still getting it outside of the usual bounds. And it was interesting for me because Hamilton always had a history, Toronto has had a historic history, and still does. There is a lot of amazing music that I feel, and culture that I feel is almost under the radar because it's necessarily put back by the nature of, I mean, I could go about the nature of capitalism, but New York and Toronto feel both the same, more like, why are you doing this? What is your end goal? Whereas, you know, I spent time in Hamilton and in Montreal, and it both felt there it was more like, what is the art? And it's not about what is the end product, how can you profit off of this? And it also just goes with places like Toronto are more stratified and definitely have been up until recently when I've seen a newer upswing in new artists and in new venues. But Montreal was traditionally the mecca for that because you could have the space. You didn't have to spend as much of your money on rent. You didn't have to have as high a cost of living. So it was also just a more permissible society for experimentation in comparison. And it was easier, I think, to find community then was you had more, you had to really look out for it more. Now it kind of feels like it's all at your fingertips, but it feels more ephemeral. Like, you know, people can, you know, they could have picked up a controller during lockdown and then they're headlining on Boiler Room 2 years later, but do they know what it actually to actually pack up a party, put it together, do that legwork instead of just existing in this virtual aspect that's being projected? Yeah, I have a lot of feelings about this, and I really do feel like there was a shift where people are now more interested in the preconceived notion of what it is to go out, what nightlife is. Like, they want to have a specific experience. They don't want to be too shaken up. They don't want to be exposed to something that they maybe didn't have a notion of before. And so what I've been looking for are all these people who are trying to break that.
Nice.
Well, we got Neonlichter slinging beats and spitting truths to the top of the hour, so keep it tuned to WKCR FM.
Preach.
Mira que sin vergüenza, no puede ser. Él con otra mujer no se atrevería. Él va a saber que conmigo no se juega. ¡Ja! Soy un fuego que no se apaga, me debes de tener temor. Tú me lo vas a pagar, tú me lo vas a pagar, tú me lo vas a pagar. ¿Quién tú te crees? Tú me lo vas a pagar, tú me lo vas a pagar, tú me lo vas a pagar. ¿Quién tú te crees? Mira, no es bueno hacer maldades porque te engañará tú mismo. ¿Sabes una cosa? Tú vas a comprender que todas las mujeres no van a saltar a tu deber. otra cosa. No son tan inocentes. Dale. Papi, ven acá, no he terminado todavía. El juego no se ha terminado. Y el que pierda eres tú. ¿Qué burla? La burla fue tuya, pero la que gana soy yo. Estúpido eres.
short of his soul. He drives a brand new Cadillac. The license plate might as well spill crack. It's a jungle out there. It's a pity. Can't fall in love in the city. It's a jungle out there. It's a pity. Can't fall in love in the city. It's a jungle out there. It's a pity. Can't fall in love in the city. It's a jungle out there. It's a pity. Can't fall in love in the city.
You're listening to WKCR FM. This is Groove Trackers. We got Neonlichter on the deck, spinning wax tonight. Neon, what are we listening to right now?
Transphonics with the Deep End on 8-Ball Records out of New York. That's 91, 92.
Fantastic. Now we're going to move into our next segment. It's the quick fire questions round.
Here it comes. This is going to put you through your paces, man, so knuckle up. What is your favorite record store in the world?
R.I.P. Halcyon in Brooklyn. I say that because it was instrumental to me in both exposing me to DJs and being able to see them before I was legal enough to get into clubs, and also just provide the framework for so much of my local digging habits and just in general. It's long since gone as the product of a Dumbo that doesn't exist anymore, but it's been around, it was around at least in Brooklyn since the late 90s.
How about a brick and mortar that's still in operation?
That's still in local. I'm going to go local Ergot Records, both just, not just because it's how I found out about here, but also it's staffed by people, my friends Adrian Hall and Molly Greenlater. They are honestly like the kind of heads and the kind of people that we need in that neighborhood that is fast becoming less New York and more American.
Yep, shout out to those
Agree.
guys.
What is the greatest length you've gone through, either in terms of price, inconvenience, or distance to get a record?
I figure it would either just be anything that's shipped from Japan, not because, and that's just because of distance, because anything that goes through the postal system, I'm just like saying Hail Marys and I'm not even Christian. Or just going through some of the absolute darkest basements where even before COVID you would bring a mask because you don't know exactly how much history or potential residue that you would be inhaling and leaving with. Shout out the thing in Greenpoint.
There you go, yeah.
Another thing.
Yeah. Speaking of dusty basements, talk about a place that's a great place to find records that's not a record store.
Oh.
Or ordering online.
Honestly, or ordering on, that's not a record store, ordering online. Half the time I feel if you're in a small town and you go to any of like the local, I guess like whether it's Goodwill or whatever the brands are here, I always find it's those just because half the time they don't know what they have. And of course, you know, in the clutch I can't think of anything, but it was either that or when I was living in the UK, going to any of the charity shops and finding things which would be import prices here for like 50p a pound or whatever, and it's like still in decent enough condition.
Because every record you don't look at might be the record you were looking for like 4 or 5 years. Now, tell us about, on that subject, your greatest diamond in the rough, the record you found that made you scream. It's a toughie.
Honestly, wow, I don't even know about.
You can
that.
pass.
You know, I'm gonna pass on that one just because it's like, you know.
All right, he's used his pass. He still has his phone a friend.
Okay.
Here's this. We're going to reverse it. Flip it and reverse it. What's the one that got away? A record that you didn't buy and you've always regretted it.
Oh, Lord. I feel it would likely be some, even if it's a reissue, some either sleeper jazz classic. Like for me, my original show was called Astral Traveling, partially an homage to Beats in Space, but also Pharoah Sanders, and likely finding a copy of Demby in the wild would be a holy grail.
Well, thank you very much. You've survived the quick fire, the quick fire questions. We're going to get back to the music. Last 10 minutes with Neonlichter here at WKCR FM.
Sick.
89.9FM WKCR HD. This has been Groove Trackers with Neonlichter. We've been grooving for the last. It's been a transcendent hour of music. Neonlichter, thank you for coming into WKCR FM. Now, question for you: any shout outs to close out the show?
All the DJs that nobody's ever heard of that are 10,000 times better than any of us, that don't have the clout or algorithm capacity to be given the respect that they deserve. And also to anybody who's in a smaller city, anybody who's outside the realms, outside the axes, that are trying their hardest to get some semblance out there of individual culture, of this kind of music, regardless of what form it takes or regardless what their backgrounds were, because it's people like that that make this worth going on.
Preach. Aim into all of
Woo,
that.
Lordy!
And also WKCR and all the bastions of free communication,
100%.
because we need that more than ever in this day and age.
Absolutely. Now tell us, if we want to keep following you, find more of your stuff, where do we go?
My radio show is on Antennas, n10.as. That is every Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time up in Montreal. Also on SoundCloud, Neonlichter-DJ, Instagram _Neonlichter. I'll spell that for you for the non-Deutsch speakers, Neonlichter.
Yeah, I notice I've been doing a very German pronunciation of that this evening. Neonlichter?
Lichter.
Deutsch is meine dritte
Herr Lichter.
Sprache, so you know how it is.
Ja, Herr Lichter.
And for those listening at home, if you've been enjoying the show, Groove Trackers FM on Instagram, full track list. And with that, we'll be signing off. So good night, Jake.
Good night, Tommy.
Good night, Neon.
Good night, Jake.
Good night, everybody.
Bosh.
Okay, so my question for you is citizen name Jason,
Yes.
performing name Neonlichter. What's the deal with that? What's the name?
So the name is partially a Kraftwerk pun, just because they were so in. Of course, in the Clutch, I forget what album they put Neonlicht on, but it was one of their few, like, I wouldn't say crossover, but it's one of the few that kind of sounds like it has a traditional pop structure, which is ironic just because I don't really have much knowledge of pop, despite working in radio half my life. But also just, I enjoy the aesthetic of it as well, just in terms of almost like what it represents, even though I could go on for like what the new Neon is like. And it's also just in general, it's non-specific enough that it doesn't tie me into any specific, saying, their DJ name is that, they sound like they play this. There's nothing that's cued to that.
Like it. Warm-up question, Jake?
Well, we've been talking, down the stairs about college radio. Is that how you got into DJing, spinning vinyl, or does it go back farther?
It goes back further in the sense of I was interested. I can't even pinpoint when I got interested in DJing, but it was something that I had knowledge and interest of since I was like, this was like in single-digit years. But in terms of college radio, I started. I went from 2009 to 2014. I'm at McMaster, and I got a late-night show specifically because I didn't have equipment at home. So this was how I learned how to DJ. It was late night, like I started Tuesday nights, midnight to 2, and then Monday. So part of me was thought, well, if I mess up, who's going to be listening anyway? But also there's like 2 hours. You're not bound by any CanCon regulations or any of the typical broadcasting regulations in the daytime. So you have complete free reign. And what I appreciated was that they did give me free reign, where there was I had like a rough idea of it being dance and electronic, but really it can be anything within that process.
And is this before you were playing out? Like, did college radio lead to playing out, or vice versa?
Yeah, to a smaller extent. I had a friend who had a bar in downtown Hamilton that they tried to put down as like a dance and electronic, not necessarily theme place, but they wanted to put on shows that would either have been passed over because of where we are. Most acts will just go to Toronto, and we wanted to try and bring some of the artists, like, do us, play with us on Friday, you play in Toronto on Saturday, so it sounds like a good deal. But also just try and give a space for what I found was indeed a burgeoning community of people in Hamilton who, I think it's funny because now, like, the people who live there who have been priced out of Toronto, basically. But it still had a very, like, sort of ramshackle-ish vibe. A lot of, like, the techno people, like, Orphix and a fair number of industrial people that set up shop there. but there it just kind of felt like nobody really cared. So it's like we could sort of do what we wanted because there was no preconception of what the night was.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I mean, I detect like, you know, almost like a community activist like vibe to what you're saying, and it makes me think about the difference between doing radio and you're just kind of like sending stuff off into the ether versus like, you know, building a scene and building parties. Like, can you talk a little bit about that?
It's interesting because at the
We've
time...
2-minute warning, and then we're going to start recording. So,
okay. So with that, I feel like because this was, I'm talking like 10 years ago, but even then, obviously the reach of social media was far less productive. Like you could still advertise on Facebook and it would actually mean something instead of being sucked up into the ether. And it just was not as easy even then to find other people with similar music tastes. Like it took until in my third year I did a study abroad in Leeds, and I was 20, and it was the first time I had ever met anybody my own age who had also listened to the same kinds of house, techno, disco, had that kind of
you're in
idea.
Leeds.
That's
Come on.
I mean, that's the thing, you know. You go up there, you know. First night went out down Peep House, which was like up in October, and that was like absolute trip. But that was like an appreciation.
Proper Yorkshire lad.
I learned, you know, from Coronation Street watching Omnibus, you know. So it sounded perfectly scally when I was 4.
Oh my god!
You see me over here having no idea, just being like, "Dingo baby."
Basically.
When my parents listened through to the end of the SoundCloud file, because they always do. My mum's a Yorkshire lass. She's from Bradford.
Our family's from Voltaire, so you know.
Voltaire. She's
Hey,
from
you know.
Voltaire!
Hey.
Oh my god!
The beautiful thing about this is that I understood that there was an appreciation, and so when I got back, that was when I got inspired, and I was like, I want to put on shows. I want to like get in touch with people who want to try and present something that isn't more commercial sounding. And it was funny because at the time Disclosure had just released their first album, and I remember hearing it thinking like, it's not that it's bad, but like, they're not going to make it over here. And then, of course, within the decade, the tide shifted.